Okay. How many of you have Bibles? You have a Bible?
Koliko od vas imate Bibliju?
3, 4 of you? Okay, most people.
Četvoro.
Good. If you'll open your Bible to Luke chapter 9.
Ako otvorimo Biblije po Evanđelju po Luci u 9. poglavlje.
So if you'll open there, you'll see that it's one of the longer chapters in the New Testament.
Vidjet ćemo da je to jedan od dužih poglavlja u Novom Zavetu.
And you'll be happy to know we're not going to talk about the whole thing.
I nećemo, naravno, cijelu glavu proučavati danas.
Just a few verses there.
Samo nekoliko stihova.
Jesus was a real person.
Isus je bila istinita osoba, prava osoba.
You could have gone up and touched him.
Mogli ste ga pipnuti.
In fact, John says, we know, we were there, we touched him.
Jovan kaže da je on siguran, on zna, on je bio s njim, pipnuo ga je.
And at first, people had no idea really who he was.
Na početku niko nije bio siguran u ono ko je Isus bio.
He was doing miracles.
On je činio čuda.
And he had these disciples that were with him.
Imao je svoje učenike.
Can you imagine what that was like?
Možete li zamisliti kako je to bilo?
To be right there and watch Jesus do miracles?
Da biti u blizini Isusa i gledati ga kako čini čuda.
Now, we know now who Jesus is.
Mi danas znamo ko je Isus.
And it's really easy for us to say, oh, well, of course, Jesus was God.
I lako nam je reći da, Isus je bio Bog.
But they were trying to figure it out.
Ali su oni u to vrijeme to probali razumjeti.
And it must have been a strange life to walk around with Jesus every day.
On je bio možda čudan život, biti sa Isusom svaki dan.
The Jewish people had a great religion.
Jevreji su imali veoma dobru religiju.
It was a religion given by God.
Ona je bila data sa strane Boga.
Had all kinds of directions about what to do.
Imala je svakakve upute.
What not to do.
Šta raditi, šta ne raditi.
And there were really great things in it.
I bilo je mnogo dobrih stvari u njemu.
Like having feasts.
Na primjer, svakakve slave.
Big parties.
I žurke.
So there was a fun element to religion.
Dobar element religije.
And I'm sure that everybody showed up for the festivals.
Siguran sam da su se svi pojavili na taj festival.
But God was trying to give pictures of a relationship.
Ali Bog je kroz to hteo dati neku sliku veze sa njim.
And some people were happy just to make it a religion.
Neki ljudi su bili samo zadovoljni sa tim da od toga naprave religiju.
They missed the point of the things they were doing.
Oni su izgubili pointu stvari koje čine tamo.
They thought the things they were doing,
oni su mislili da stvari koje rade,
that was it.
Da je to bila suština.
You do the things.
Samo činite stvari.
You go to the place.
Idite na određena mesta.
You do the thing.
Radite određene stvari.
And you're good.
I u redu ste.
So Jesus comes along.
I tada nam dolazi Isus.
And he says, it's not about doing the things.
Kaže da nije suština u činjenju dobrih stvari.
In fact, he told the people who were doing the things.
On je rekao osobama koji su činili ove stvari.
But didn't have a right heart.
Da nisu imali ispravno srce.
That they were hypocrites.
Da su bili licemeri.
That's not a nice word to be called a hypocrite.
To nije lepo reći, biti nazvan licemerom.
So Jesus was trying to explain to people that God is a God of love.
Dakle, Isus je hteo da objasni ljudima da je Bog ljubavi.
He wants a relationship.
I da on želi vezu sa nama.
It wasn't something you did just sometimes.
To se nije baziralo na delima.
How many of you have been in the army?
Koliko od vas je bilo u vojsci?
So if you're in the army, you get a gun.
Dakle, ako ste u vojsci sa oružjem,
maybe a small gun or
možda
big,
nekim manjim, većim,
and you get a uniform, right?
Dobijete uniformu.
And when you feel like it, you go do army things.
Kada se tako osjećate, onda radite neke stvari za vojsku.
Right?
Je li tako?
The boys are going, yeah, that's the army. You just do, when you feel like it, you do army things.
Čaci kaže da kad ste takvi volji, onda radite neke stvari za vojsku.
You just show up when you get to wear your beautiful uniform and march in a line.
Samo se pojavite u lepoj uniformi i činite stvari.
People go, oh, yay, look at the army guys.
Ljudi vas gledaju i veličavaju vas.
When you're in the army,
Ali kada ste u vojsci,
you're in the army
vi ste u vojsci.
24 hours a day.
24 sata.
Not just when you feel like it.
Ne samo kada se tako osjećate.
But maybe a better example is marriage.
Ali možda bolji primjer je brak.
Let's say you have a friend
Recimo da imate prijatelja
and you're talking to this friend one day
i sa njim razgovarate jednog dana
and he says something and suddenly you realize he's married.
i on vam nešto kaže pa shvatite da je on u braku.
You say, you're married?
I vi pitate ga, vi ste u braku?
I didn't know you were married.
Nisam to znao.
He said, oh yeah, I'm very serious about my marriage.
Da, veoma sam ozbiljan u svom braku.
I never hear you talk about your wife.
Ali ja nikad ne čujem kako razgovaraš o svojoj ženi.
I never see you with your wife.
Niti ja vidim s njom.
Tell me about your marriage.
Reci mi nešto o svom braku.
He said, oh, I'm very serious about my marriage.
Ja sam veoma ozbiljan u braku.
I visit my wife twice a year.
Posjećujem ženu čak 2 puta godišnje.
I show up on her birthday.
Prisutan sam na njenom rođendanu.
And on her anniversary, I take her a little present.
Čak i na našoj godišnjici joj ponesem neki dar.
What?
Molim?
Oh yeah, I'm very serious about my marriage.
Da, veoma sam ozbiljan u braku.
So you think, well, you know, that doesn't seem like much of a relationship to me.
Dakle, to se meni ne čini nekom veoma dobrom vezom.
He says, really?
Stvarno.
So you don't see him for a couple months.
I onda nakon toga ga ne srećate nekoliko mjeseci.
You see him again.
Pa ga ponovo vidite.
Say, hey, how's it going?
I opet ga zapitate, hej, kako ste?
How's your marriage, by the way?
Kako je vaš brak?
He said, you know, I really got to thinking about what you were saying.
I on me kaže, znaš, ja sam razmišljao o tome što si mi rekao prošli put.
And I've really stepped up my commitment to my marriage.
I odlučio sam biti još mnogo prisvećeniji u braku.
And I've decided that I'm going to go once a week to visit my wife.
I odlučio sam da ću jednom nedeljno posjećivati ženu.
I make an appointment with her.
Napravit ću sastanak sa njom.
And I chose Sunday because I don't have anything else to do on Sunday anyway.
I odlučio sam da taj dan bude nedelja jer sam taj dan uvijek slobodan.
And every Sunday morning I spend a whole hour with her.
I svaku nedjelju jutro čak čitavih sat vremena sprovodim s njom.
Okay.
Ok.
Maybe that's an improvement.
Možda je to neki napredak.
But you wonder how the wife feels about that.
Ali zamislite kako se ta supruga osjeća.
You see, this is the kind of thing that Jesus is saying to the Jewish people.
Vidite, ovo mi Isus govorio jevrejskom narodu.
He said, God's not satisfied with an appointment once a week.
Bog neće biti zadovoljan sa jednim sastankom jedan put nedeljno.
Are you doing religious things?
Ili ako činite religiozne stvari.
He said, I want a relationship with you.
Kaže da on želi jednu vezu sa nama.
So when Jesus was out talking to people,
Dakle, kada je Isus razgovarao sa ljudima,
he didn't set up appointments with people.
On nije postavio sastanke sa ljudima.
He didn't tell his disciples, okay, we're going to meet on Tuesday night.
On nije rekao svojim učenicama, ok, utorak uveče se nalazimo.
I want you to read a couple of chapters from Isaiah
Pročitajte nekoliko stihova iz Izaje
and answer these study questions,
i odgovorite na ova pitanja koje sam vam dao.
and I'll see you Tuesday.
I vidimo se utorak.
Bye.
Doviđenja.
No, he didn't do that.
Ne, on to nije činio.
He said, follow me
On je rekao, pratite me.
all the time,
Svo vrijeme.
every day,
Svaki dan.
24 hours a day,
24 sata u danu.
no days off,
Bez prestanka.
no time out.
Bez pauza.
It's like a marriage,
Kao u braku.
a good marriage.
U dobrom braku.
There's communication.
Postoji komunikacija.
There's being with one another.
Postoji zajedništvo.
There's working together,
Postoji zajednički rad.
eating together,
Zajednički obroci.
walking together,
Šetaju zajedno.
thinking together,
Razmišljaju zajedno.
reacting to life together.
Oni zajedno reaguju na određene aspekte života.
So Jesus said to people, follow me.
I tako Isus govori ljudima, pratite me.
In Luke 5,
U Luci 5
it says Jesus came to a man named Levi.
vidimo da Isus dolazi jednom čovjeku koji se zove
Levi had a great job.
Levi. On je imao dobar posao.
He worked for the Roman government.
On je radio za rimljanski narod.
He made a lot of money
Imao je mnogo novca.
collecting taxes.
On je bio carinik.
Yeah. Anybody here a tax collector? Any
Da li
tax
neko od
collectors
vas
today?
poreznik?
See, the early church was full of tax collectors
U ranoj crkvi su bili puni poreznicima.
because they felt guilty. They needed salvation.
Jer mi je bila potrebna spas. Loše su se osjećali.
So it says that Jesus saw Levi sitting at his tax collecting booth getting money.
I tako vidimo da je Isus video Mateja kako sedi skupljajući taj novac.
And Jesus has this long conversation with Levi.
Isus ima ovaj dugi razgovor s njim
Here it is.
i evo je,
Follow me.
prati me.
And Levi stood up,
I on je ustao,
left everything.
sve je ostavio.
And that was a big deal. He left everything.
To je ipak bila velika stvar za njega.
He didn't say, just a minute, I have to get my money and put it in my pockets.
Nije rekao, sačekaj minut da uzmem svoj novac.
It says, and immediately he followed him.
Čitamo da je on ustao i počeo ga pratiti.
Now, in Luke chapter 9,
Dakle, u Luki 9,
Jesus has something to say which is a little surprising and a little frightening.
Isus nam govori nešto iznenađujuće i nešto zastrašujuće.
Ready? Back
Spremni?
there? Luke 9,
Luka
23.
9, 23.
And he was saying to them, if anyone wishes to come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross daily and follow me.
A svima je govorio, ko će da ide za mnom, neka se odrekne samoga sebe, neka svakog dana uzme svoj krst i ide za mnom.
Isn't that amazing?
Nije li to divno?
It's actually shocking.
To je zaista to zastrašujuće.
You see, now as Christians,
Mi sada kao hrišćani,
2,000 years later,
2000 godina kasnije,
when we hear cross,
kad mi čujemo krst,
we think of something on a wall somewhere,
mi mislimo na nešto kao na zidu, na primjer,
or a piece of jewelry.
ili na za neki deo nakita.
We think of the finished work of Jesus on the cross paying for our sins.
Mi mislimo na završni posao Isusa kako je on platio za naš greh.
But what did the disciples think when he said this?
Ali šta su učenici u to vrijeme mislili?
Did they understand the cross?
Da li su oni razumeli krst?
Absolutely, they understood the cross.
Naravno da jesu.
It was called punishment by death.
Da. Oni su razumeli da je to predstavljaju smrtnu kaznu.
You know, when you take a rope and tie it to hang somebody, we call that a hangman's noose.
Znate kad uzmete konopac da nekoga obesite to.
So imagine that I came to you and said, if anyone would like to go with us, bring your hangman's noose with you.
Zamislite da vam je neko rekao, uzmite ovaj konopac sa sobom i pratite me.
What?
Molim?
Yeah, bring something that can kill you with you. This is part of what it means to come with us.
Da, ponesi nešto što te može ubiti, pa me tako prati.
So I think they were shocked.
Ja mislim da su oni bili iznenađeni.
But he's made it very clear by what he says before and after that he's talking about life and death.
Ali on je veoma jasno rekao u prethodnim stihovima šta ovo znači.
Here's what he says just before that in Luke 22.
Evo šta kaže u 22. stihu.
The Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised up on the third day.
Sin čoveči treba mnogo da pretrpi, da ga odbace starešine, pravoslavnici i učenici zakona,
So
da budu ubijeni i da trećeg dana vaskrsne.
Good job. He just said,
On je upravo rekao,
I'm going to be killed.
bit ću ubijen.
Who wants to come with me?
Ko želi sa mnom?
Take up your cross,
Uzmite svoj krst,
your hangman's noose.
svoj konopac,
Let's go.
Idemo.
What?
Molim.
And maybe I misunderstood.
Možda nisam dobro razumeo ovo.
But then he goes on, verse
Ali
24.
on nastavi 24. stihu.
Whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake is the one who will find it.
Jer ko će da spase svoj život, izgubit će ga. A ko izgubi svoj život radi mene, spašće ga.
For what is a man's profit if he gains the whole world and loses or forfeits himself?
Što vredi čoveku ako dobije ceo svet, a samog sebe unište ili sebi naudi?
So I think he's being very, very clear.
Dakle, mislim da je on veoma jasan.
Following me is everything.
Sledba Isusa znači sve.
And if you try to live a selfish life centered on yourself,
I ako želite živjeti jedan sebičan život,
you'll end up with nothing.
ostaćete praznih ruku.
But if you give me your life, you'll have everything.
Ali ako date svoj život meni, imat ćete sve.
Now, that's hard to understand, isn't it?
To je malo teško za razumeti, zar ne?
How do I get life by giving up my life?
Kako mogu dobiti život odbacivanjem svog života?
Because my life doesn't belong to me.
Jer moj život ne pripada meni.
Because I'm not smart enough to live my life.
Jer ja nisam dovoljno pametan da živim svoj život.
And you're not either.
A niste ni vi.
You don't know what's coming tomorrow,
Vi ne znate šta dolazi sutra.
do you?
Da li?
No, you don't know what's coming this afternoon.
Ne znate ni čak šta dolazi danas poslijepodne.
Yet you make decisions all the time.
Ali ipak stalno donosite neke odluke.
You go to the grocery store, you decide what to buy.
Idete u prodavnicu da kupite nešto.
You decide which refrigerator to buy.
Odlučujete koji frižider da kupite.
You decide what car to buy.
Koji auto da kupite.
You make decisions all the time about the future, but you don't know the future.
Stalno pravite neke odluke za budućnost, ali ipak budućnost ne znate.
And have you ever made a mistake?
Da li ste ipak ikada napravili grešku?
Any of you ever done the wrong thing on purpose?
Da li je neko učinio pogrešnu stvar namjerno?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't turn out very well, does it?
To na kraju ne ispadne veoma dobro, zar ne?
Jesus is saying, if you try to run your own life
Isus kaže, ako želite upravljati sopstvenim životom,
based on your own ability,
bazirajući se na sopstvenoj snazi,
you will be unhappy.
bit ćete nesrećni.
You will lose your life
Tada ćete izgubiti svoj život.
because you don't know how to live your life.
Jer ne znate kako da živite svoj život.
But if you'll follow me,
Ali ako mene pratite,
not just once a week,
ne samo jednom nedeljno,
not twice a year,
ni 2 puta godišnje,
but if you will follow me, I will give you life.
ali ako me pratite, ja ću vam dati život.
It's interesting. I don't know if you have a game here called Follow the Leader.
Interesantno i ne znam da li ovdje imate jednu igru koja se zove Pratite vođu.
Where I grew up, we children would play Follow the Leader.
Tamo gdje sam ja odrastao, mi kao deca smo igrali ovu igru, Pratite vođu.
And it was fun to be the leader
I bilo je zabavno biti vođa,
and not fun to be the follower.
a sledbenik, pratitelj nije bilo biti zabavno.
Because the idea was, as the leader, to do something that was hard to follow.
Jer ja kao vođa sam morao nešto učiniti što je bilo teško za sledbu.
So you try to do crazy things,
Dakle, morali smo raditi neke čudne stvari.
Or you try to do things that you could do, but other people couldn't do.
Znači, radili ste neke stvari koje ste vi mogli, a ostali nisu mogli.
Or they were afraid to do.
Ili su bili zastrašeni da to rade.
Like eat a bug.
Primjer, pojesti jednu bubu.
Once in a while we go to China.
Ponekad idemo za Kinu.
And they eat bugs in China.
Tamo stvarno jedu bube.
Not all the time.
Ne stalno.
Not every meal.
Ne za svaki obrok.
But once in a while.
Ali jednom.
It seems to be that it's on the menu when Americans are visiting.
Izgleda je to uvijek na meniju kada su Amerikanci u posjeti.
They say, oh, Americans.
Evo Amerikanci dolaze.
Bring bugs.
Ponesite bube.
So they have this big beetle kind of a thing.
Dakle, imaju veliku bubu.
We have them in Florida.
Mi ih imamo u Floridi.
They're called cicadas.
Zovu se cicadas.
I have never once been tempted to eat one of those, ever.
Nikada nisam teo iskušenju da probam to pojesti.
But in China, they bring them in a beautiful bowl.
Ali u Kini tu jednoj lepoj posudi donose.
And they say, oh, we have something very special for you.
Donesemo vam nešto veoma posebno.
Great.
Sjajno.
You go first.
Počnite vi.
And they eat one.
I oni ih pojedu.
Now what am I going to do?
Šta ću ja sad učiniti?
And all the rest of the people are standing around going. So I'm thinking, well, this could be culturally embarrassing. And everybody's watching me because I'm the leader of the group.
Dakle, mislim da ovo može biti malo psihološki.
I ate a bug.
Sramno i zato...
Wow, you should all try one.
I zato nikada ne jedem bube. Ali svi bi se trebali to probati.
I found that it's very hard to eat a bug.
Znam da je vama teško pojesti jednu bubu.
They have little funny feet and it gets caught in your teeth. And
imaju male čudne noge koje se zaglave u zube.
So you have to be careful about following people.
Dakle, morate biti oprezni u praćenju nekih osoba.
Right?
Zar ne?
So the question comes, is Jesus trustworthy?
Dakle, pitanje jeste da li je Isus pouzdana osoba. Šta mislite?
Can you trust him?
Da li mu možemo verovati?
Are you sure?
Sigurni ste.
So you're ready to follow him anywhere?
Dakle, spremni ste da ga pratite
at any time
u bilo koje vreme.
And do what he says.
I raditi ono što on govori.
Love your enemies.
Volite svoje neprijatelje.
Many years ago, we had a music team.
Prije mnogo godina imali smo jednu muzičku grupu.
We were living in France.
Živjeli smo u Francuskoj.
We were traveling around doing evangelism.
Mi smo putovali, evangelizirali ljude.
And I had a friend.
Imao sam prijatelja.
Named Etienne. Good French name.
Koji se zvao?
Etienne.
Etienne.
And Etienne worked for a group called Young Life.
Etienne je radio za jednu grupu koja se zvala Mladi život.
Jeunesse adulte. And he said, we need some counselors to come to a camp.
On je rekao da su mu potrebni savjetnici za jedan kamp.
High school students.
Za studente srednjih škola.
Personally, I don't like camps.
Ja lično ne volim kampove.
And high school kids, I'm not. Okay.
Čak ni srednjoškolci.
I'm sorry if some of you are in high school.
Izvinite ako je neko od vas u srednjoj.
So I said, well, I don't know. I think we're busy that week.
Dakle, rekao sam, nisam siguran, malo sam zauzet te nedelje.
When is it?
Kada je to opet?
So he said, well, here's the deal.
On je rekao, evo ga. Stvar.
The camp is in the French Alps.
Kamp je u francuskim Alpima.
And it's a ski camp.
Postoji kamp za skijanje.
And if you come,
i ako dođete,
you can stay for the next week.
Možete nedelju dana ostati.
And have ski lift tickets for free.
I da imate ski pas za besplatno.
And the guy who runs the camp is a ski instructor.
I voditelj kampa je instruktor skijanja.
In fact, he was on the French Olympic team.
Čak on je bio na francuskoj olimpijskoj.
So I prayerfully reconsidered.
Dakle, ja sam u molitvi se predomislio.
And God said, you should go.
I Bog je rekao, trebalo bi da odeš.
So we made the sacrifice.
Dakle, mi smo učinili tu žrtvu.
And it was kind of fun.
I bilo je zabavno.
And we had a good time with the French students, believe it or not.
Imali smo lepo vreme sa francuskim studentima, verovali ili ne.
And then when they left, we had a whole week to go skiing.
I kada su oni otišli, imali smo cijelih nedelju dana za skijanje.
Now, I don't remember the ski instructor's name.
Ja se ne sjećam ime instruktora.
Anyway, he was French.
Bio je Francuz.
And he had been very frustrated during the week before teaching the French kids how to ski.
On je bio veoma nervozan kako je podučavao te studente da skiju.
because most of them had never been on skis.
Jer većina njih nije prethodno naučila skijati.
So most of the instruction
Dakle, većina podučavanja
was how to stand up,
je bilo u tome kako ustati i stajati.
because they were very good at falling down.
Jer su bili jako dobri u padanju.
He didn't have to teach them how to fall down.
To ih nije morao naučiti.
They seemed to just be a natural ability.
Oni su imali talent za to.
But it was getting back up, it was hard.
Ustajanje je bilo mnogo teže.
And so a big part of his time was saying, get up.
Dakle, veliki deo tokom tog podučanja puno je rekao get up, da ustanu.
Yeah. So when that week was over, he was very excited to actually go skiing.
Dakle, na kraju te nedelje on je bio veoma srećan kako bi mogao da skije.
And so there we were, and he's looking at us thinking, oh, musicians.
Dakle, tamo smo bili i on nas je primetio i rekao i sebi, super, muzičari.
He says, do any of you know how to ski?
Da li iko od vas zna kako da skija?
And I said,
A ja sam rekao,
I do.
ja znam.
Because I had been skiing a few times.
Jer sam ja nekoliko puta već.
I had a friend who was a ski instructor when we lived in the state of Oregon.
Imao sam jednog prijatelja koji je bio instruktor za skijanje dok sam živeo u Oregonu.
I had a lot of skiing skills.
Imam mnogo veština za skijanje.
I knew how to get up,
Znam kako ustati,
for example,
na primjer.
and a few other things I could do.
I nekoliko sličnih stvari još.
So Jean-Baptiste says to me,
Dakle, Džon Baptist mi je rekao,
follow me.
prati me.
I knew right then I was probably in trouble.
Tada sam znao da sam u velikoj nevolji.
So we get on the ski lift,
Dakle, stigli smo na
and we go way up the mountain.
Stigli smo na žičaru
Way up the mountain.
i podigli smo se skroz gore na planinu.
And when we got there,
I kada smo stigli,
there was another ski lift that went even higher.
postoje još jedna žičara koja je išla čak i više.
And we got on that one.
I čak smo se na tu isto popeli.
So we get up to the top,
Dakle, stigli smo na sam vrh
and I'm looking down, and here's this big, wide place where you ski,
i gledajući dole vidio sam u veliku površinu za skijanje.
And I'm looking down this mountain,
Kako sam gledao niz planinu,
and I'm thinking,
mislim u sebi,
I'm about to go to the hospital.
uskoro idem u bolnicu.
And much to my surprise,
I na svoje iznenađenje,
Jean-Baptiste says,
Jean Baptist mi je rekao,
follow me.
prati me.
And he doesn't go down that way.
Ali on ne silazi.
He starts on his skis going this way
On kreće na suprotnu stranu,
along the ridge of the mountain.
po ivici planine.
So I'm following him.
Dakle, ja ga pratim na ivici.
And as we go, the mountain gets more and more steep.
I kako nastavimo, planina postaje da bude sve strmija.
So we go quite a distance from where the normal people are skiing.
Dakle, mi smo na velikom rastojanju od normalnih ljudi.
And then I remembered something.
Tada se nečega setim.
He was on the Olympic team.
On je bio na olimpijadi.
I thought, what am I doing?
Pomislio sam šta radim ja.
So Jean-Baptiste turns to me
Tada Jean Baptist se okrenuo prema meni
and he says,
i reče,
follow me.
prati me.
And this was really amazing. I wish you could have seen this.
Ovo je bilo stvarno dobro.
He jumps up in the air.
Volio bi da ste to vidjeli. On je
And
skočio
while he's in the air, he turns.
I dok je bio uz vazduhu, on se okrenuo.
And he hits with his skis perfectly together.
I kako je skočio, on je svoje skije postavio uspravno.
So he hits and he jumps up in the air again and he turns the other way and hits.
Dakle, on se opet okrenuo u vazduhu na suprotnu stranu.
Only now he's about 50 meters down the slope.
Ali sad je bio otprilike 50 metara niz
And he
te
jumps
površine.
again and turns the other way.
Pa je opet skočio i okrenuo se na suprotnu stranu.
Now he's about 130 meters down the slope.
Sada je otprilike na 130 metara niz planine.
And I watched this. It was beautiful.
Kako sam to gledao, vidio sam da je to lepo.
And he disappeared
I tada je nestao.
down the mountain,
Niz planine.
looking beautiful.
Izgledajući dobro.
And there I was.
A ja sam tamo bio.
And I thought, I can jump.
Pomislio sam da u sebi da, mogu ja da skočim tako.
And I thought, otherwise I'm going to be here the rest of my life.
Ili inače ću ostati tu za ceo svoj život na planini.
So I jumped.
I dakle, skočio sam.
I don't know how it looked.
Ne znam kako sam izgledao,
It felt amazing.
ali sam se osjećao super.
When I woke up,
Kada sam ustao,
I was about maybe 75 meters down the slope.
dakle, kada sam se probudio, bio sam na neki 75 metara niz tu planinu.
And I realized immediately that there were some things missing.
I onda sam primijetio da postoje neke stvari koje su nedostajale.
Like my hat was gone.
Na primjer, moja kapa.
It was cold.
I bilo je hladno.
So I searched around in the snow and found my hat.
Dakle, potražio sam i našao sam svoju kapu u snegu.
And then I thought, I'm supposed to have two of these poles.
Pa sam pomislio da bih trebao imati 2 ova štapa.
It took longer to find the pole,
Bilo je teže naći ove štapove.
but I searched all around and
Svugdje sam tražio, ali
finally found the pole.
da nađem taj štap.
Then I thought, I'm going to have to find those skis,
Pa sam pomislio da i moram naći
or
skije.
I'm never going to get back without the skis.
I znao sam da se nikad neću vratiti nazad bez ovih skija.
That turned out to be a really difficult task
To je bio jedan veoma težak posao za mene.
because we were in what's called powder snow,
Jer smo mi bili u nekom praškastom snegu,
which is really, really soft snow
što je veoma mekan i redak sneg.
and really deep.
I veoma dubok.
And I could see where I had been
Ja sam mogu vidjeti gde sam prethodno bio,
because there were big holes in the snow.
jer su bile velike rupe u snegu.
And it was quite amazing to see, wow, I really came a long way down the mountain.
Bilo je nevjerovatno koliko sam dugu putanju napravio.
It took me a long time to find those skis.
Trebalo bi mi mnogo vremena da nađem svoje skije.
I was so tired when I finally found them.
Bio sam jako umoran kada sam ih našao.
I actually put my arms on the skis
Ja sam stavio svoje ruke na skije
and slid down the mountain.
i klizao sam se niz planinu.
And I finally made it back to the place we were staying
I napokon sam se vratio na to mesto gde smo boravili,
about 2:00 in the afternoon.
otprilike 2 sata popodne.
I was so tired.
Bio sam veoma umoran.
I thought, why did I follow Jean-Baptiste?
Pomislio sam u sebi, zašto sam ja pratio Džon Baptistu?
Now, why do I tell you that story?
Dakle, zašto vam govorim ovu priču?
Some people think following Jesus is like following Jean-Baptiste.
Neki misle da je sledba Isusa kao praćenje ovog instruktora.
He's better than an Olympic champion.
On je bolji od ove osobe koja je bila na Olimpiji.
He's the Son of God.
On je sin Božiji.
He's perfect.
On je savršen.
How can I follow him?
Kako ga mogu ja slediti?
I'm going to fall down the mountain.
Ja ću pasti niz planinu.
I'm going to fail. Going to lose my hat.
Ja ću pasti i izgubiti kapu.
Going to lose my skis.
Izgubit ću svoje skije
I'm going to be defeated.
i bit ću poražen.
I'm going to be a failure.
Bit ću jedan gubitnik.
So I'm not following.
Dakle, ja ga neću pratiti.
See, we have to decide every day if we're going to follow him or not.
Vidite, mi svakog dana moramo odlučiti da li ćemo ga pratiti.
And the fact is that the choices we make every day about following him
Stvar je u tome da kad mi odredimo da ga pratimo svaki dan,
are not as dramatic as falling down a mountain.
nisu toliko dramatični kao što je, na primjer,
But
pasti sa planine.
sometimes it's little things.
Ponekad su u pitanju male stvari.
And we're constantly looking at the wrong person to see how we're doing.
Mi konstantno se upoređujemo sa pogrešnim osobama da bi odredili kako napredujemo.
See, when I got back to the cabin,
Vidite, kada sam se ja vratio na to naše boravište,
I could have said, well, I'm better than the people who didn't go skiing.
mogao sam reći sebi da sam ja bio bolji od osoba koji uopšte nisu ni pošli na skijanje.
So even though I was an utter failure at skiing,
Dakle, iako sam bio gubitnik u skijanju,
at least I tried.
barem sam pokušao.
So I'm so much better than the people who stayed behind.
Dakle, ja sam mnogo bolji od osobe koji nisu ni pokušali.
Now, you never feel that way, right?
Vi se tako nikada ne osjećate, jel?
Let's see, for example, you're driving your car,
Da vidimo, na primjer, vozite svoj auto
and the speed limit is 50,
i ograničenje je 50 km/h.
and you're going 70.
I vi idete sa 70.
So at that point, are you following Jesus?
Dakle, da li tada pratite Isusa?
Would Jesus go 70?
Da li bi Isus vozio 70?
But as you're going 70,
Ali iako putujete sa tom brzinom,
someone passes you going 100.
neko vas zaobiđe putujući 100 na sat.
Look at that terrible person.
Vidite tu groznu osobu.
I hope he has an accident.
Nadam se da će on biti u nekoj nesreći,
I hope the police stop him
da će ga policija zaustaviti.
as I'm going 70.
U isto vrijeme ja vozim sa 70 na čas,
And the sign says 50.
a na znaku piše 50.
Now, I have this kind of temptation myself.
Dakle, ja imam isto ovakvo iskušenje.
So in the United States, you go to a grocery store,
Dakle, u Sjedinjenim Američkim Državama kada odete u prodavnicu,
and they have a special lane.
imaju posebnu traku.
And over the lane it says,
Iznad te trake piše
10 items or less.
10 stvari ili manje.
So I'm coming up and I'm counting.
Dakle, ja stižem sa kolicima i brojim.
I have 11.
Imam 11.
I don't really need that. I'll put this,
To mi ne treba, to ću staviti sa strane.
put that on the candy. And
Stavit ću to na slatkiše ovdje pored.
but then I look, see,
Ali tada pogledam i vidim
and the guy in front of me,
da osoba ispred mene,
as I count very quickly,
kako brzo broji,
has 18 items.
ima 18 stvari u kolicima.
18!
Čak 18.
That's almost twice too many.
Skoro duplo više od dozvoljenog.
I only have one extra.
Ja sam imao samo jedan više.
And the other lines are so long.
A ostali redovi su veoma dugi.
There's a woman next to me has bought groceries for the next year and a half.
Stoji žena pored mene koja je nakupovala za sljedeću godinu dana.
She has 3 carts piled full of stuff.
Ima čak 3 nagomilane kolice.
And I'm thinking, lady, you need to go on a diet. Come on, this is
Ja
terrible.
pomislim, gospođo, morate na dijetu.
In that moment, I have a choice to make.
Ali sam tada imao jedan izbor da napravim.
Am I going to follow Jesus?
Da li ću pratiti Isusa?
Jesus is not taking more than 10 items and going in that line.
Isus neće uzeti više od 10 stvari i ići u tu traku.
You say, come on, that's silly. That's a little thing.
Mi bi rekli da je to samo mala stvar.
But see, in that moment, I'm saying,
Ali ja u tom trenutku govorim,
Jesus, you can wait in the long line.
Isuse, ti možeš čekati na toj dugoj traci.
Sorry, I'm not following you into the long line.
Izvini, ja te neću pratiti u tu dugu liniju.
That's really what I'm saying, isn't it?
To je u stvari ono što mi govorimo, zar ne?
I choose not to be obedient in a small thing.
Ja biram da ne budem poslušan ovoj maloj stvari.
This is a small thing.
Ipak je ovo samo mala stvar.
But I'm practicing not following.
Ali u isto vrijeme ja vežbam suprotno od praćenja.
Instead of practicing following.
Umjesto da zapravo pratim Isusa.
And that hurts my soul.
I to škodi mojoj duši.
Because I've told myself, it's okay,
Jer sam rekao da je to u redu, to je mala stvar.
Jesus doesn't expect me to follow all the time.
Isus ne očekuje od mene da ga baš stvarno i stalno pratim.
Really?
Zar ne?
Did he say, follow me when you feel like it?
Da li je on rekao da pratite me kada ste u takvom raspoloženju?
Follow me when it's convenient.
Prati me kad je zgodno.
Now, further down in this chapter in Luke,
Dakle, dalje u ovoj poglavi u Luki,
we have a story of 3 people who came and said they wanted to follow Jesus or were asked to follow him.
Imamo priču gdje su 3 osobe pitale ili su bili pitani da prate Isusa.
So the first guy comes along and he says,
Dakle, prva osoba dolazi i
in
kaže
verse 57,
u 57. stihu,
as they were going along the road, someone said to him, I will follow you wherever you go.
dok su išli putem, reče mu jedan čovjek, ići ću za tobom kud god ti želiš.
Fantastic.
Fantastično, zar ne?
Jesus wants to be followed.
Isus sad hoće neko da prati.
He says, I'll follow you anywhere.
Ja ću te pratiti svugde.
Jesus said to him, verse 58, the foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head.
Isus mu govori, lisice imaju jazbine i ptice imaju gnezda, a sin čovječiji nema gde da spusti glavu.
Jesus said, if you're interested in personal comfort and security,
Isus kaže, ako ste zainteresovani u komfor i zaštićenje,
if that's your highest priority,
ako im je to najveći prioritet,
you need to understand
morate razumeti
that I am the Son of Man.
da sam ja sin čovečiji.
I am God in the flesh.
Ja sam Bog u telu.
And I don't have a place to live.
I ja nemam kuću.
So if we put our physical comfort above following Jesus,
Dakle,
it's not going to work.
Dakle, ako mi stavimo naš komfor iznad praćenja Isusa, to neće funkcionisati.
So, for example,
Dakle, na primjer,
there's some financial need in the church,
ako postoji neka financijska potreba u crkvi,
or someone's going on a mission project,
ili neko ide na jedno misijsko putovanje,
and I think, well,
i ja razmislim,
yeah, I've got some money, but I really had plans for that money.
dobro, imam ja nešto novca, ali imam neke druge planove za taj novac.
I love you, Lord,
Volim te, Bože,
but I know you want me to be responsible.
ali ja znam da ti želiš da ja budem odgovoran,
You want me to be a good steward.
da budem odgovoran u svom novcu, sa svojim novcem.
And I really need that new color television set.
I stvarno mi treba taj novi, veliki televizor.
It'll be a ministry.
To će se upotrebljavati za službu.
When the World Cup comes, I'll invite my friends over to watch with
Kada
me.
dođe svetska liga, ja ću zvati moje prijatelje da gledaju sa mnom.
You see, we have to make those decisions all the time about who's the most important.
Vidite, mi stalno moramo napraviti ove odluke o tome ko je najvažniji.
So Jesus says, okay, sounds great that you want to follow me, but understand what you're committing to.
Dakle, Isus kaže, super je to što želiš da me pratiš, ali razumite šta to znači.
Because life with me is way more exciting than a new TV.
Jer život sa mnom je bolji nego jedan veliki televizor.
So now Jesus says to somebody else, I want you to follow me.
Sada Isus govori nekom drugom ko kaže da ga želi pratiti.
So the first guy just volunteers, says, man, I'll go anywhere.
Dakle, prva osoba se samo volontirala da će ići gde god treba.
But now Jesus looks at a guy that apparently is hanging around.
Ali sada Isus posmatra jednu osobu koja je samo u okolini.
So you have verses 59 to 60.
Dakle, imamo stihove od 59 do 60.
And so he said to another, follow me. But he said, Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father. But he said to him, allow the dead to bury their own dead. But as for you, go and proclaim everywhere the kingdom of God.
A jednom drugom reče, pođi za mnom, Gospode, reče mu čovjek. Pusti me da prvo odem da sahranim oca. A Isus mu reče, neka mrtvi sahranjuju svoje mrtve, a ti idi i objavi Božje carstvo.
Wow, that seems very hard, doesn't it?
To se čini veoma žestoko.
Where's the loving Jesus in this verse?
Gde je ljubljen Isus u ovom stihu?
Hard, huh?
Teško, zar ne?
So you have to understand a couple of things.
Dakle, razumijemo par stvari.
In the Jewish law and in the Jewish tradition,
U jevrejskoj tradiciji i zakonu,
people are buried the same day they die.
ljudi su sahranjeni na isti dan kada umru.
So this guy's father is not dead yet.
Dakle, ovaj otac još nije mrtav.
What he's saying is that
Šta on zapravo govori?
I have family priorities.
Imam prioritet u svojoj porodici.
I have to wait around until my father dies and take care of the estate and do everything. Then I'll come.
Ja moram da sačekam da moj otac umre i da preuzmem imovinu i tada ću te pratiti.
Because he says, well, yeah, I'm coming, but first
Znači on govori da, dolazim, ali prvo,
I'm putting something before following you.
prvo ću staviti nešto pred tobom,
But first,
prije nego što te pratim.
ever find you hear yourself saying that?
Da li mi razmišljamo tako ponekad?
You feel like there's something God wants you to do?
Da li se osjećate da Bog želi nešto da vi uradite?
But, great idea, but first,
Dobra ideja, ali prvo,
I have something else that's first.
moram nešto drugo učiniti.
Something else is number one in my life.
Nešto drugo što je na prvom mestu.
As soon as I take care of that, Lord,
Čim ja to obavim, Gospode,
I'm with you.
ja ću te pratiti.
So Jesus' answer seems so terrible.
Dakle, Isusov odgovor se čini toliko lošim.
Let the dead bury the dead.
Neka mrtvi sahranjuju mrtve,
But what's the contrast?
ali šta je suprotnost?
You go proclaim the kingdom.
Vi idite i objavljujete Božje carstvo.
See, Jesus is offering him a contrast.
Znači, Isus mu postavlja ovu suprotnost.
You can remain with spiritually dead people,
Možeš ostati sa duhovno mrtvim osobama
or you can go give life by proclaiming the kingdom.
ili možeš davati život sa objavljanjem Božjeg carstva.
Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of personal stories, if I might.
Dakle, ako mogu reći vam nekoliko ličnih priča.
I became a Christian when I was in college,
Ja sam postao hrišćanin kada sam bio na fakultetu.
and my parents were both very strong Christians.
Moji roditelji su bili veoma jaki hrišćani.
They were very happy when I turned my life around and came to
Bili
Christ.
su veoma sresni kada sam dao svoj život Hristu.
And I told them, guess what?
I rekao sam im, zamislite,
I'm going to follow Jesus,
ja ću pratiti Isusa
and I'm moving to Europe.
i selim se za Evropu.
Bye.
Doviđenja.
Now, I'm an only child.
Dakle, ja sam jedino dete.
So when I left,
Kada sam ja otišao,
no more kids around.
oni više nisu imali dete.
But my parents were happy that I was going.
Ali moji roditelji su ipak bili zadovoljni sa tim što sam ja otišao.
Diana was the same way.
Diana je bila na isti način.
She's not an only child,
Ona nije jedino dete,
but she was, for a long time, the only child that was really following the Lord and giving her life to the Lord.
ali dugo vreme ona je bilo jedino dete koje je dala svoj život Hristu i koje je pratila Hrista.
And let's be honest, she was the favorite child in the family.
I budem iskren, ona je bila omiljeno dete u porodici.
So her mother wasn't so excited when she told her mother she was moving to Europe.
Dakle, njena majka nije bila toliko zadovoljna sa tim kad je ona njoj rekla da putuje za Evropu.
And Diana had to remind her, remember, you prayed I would serve the Lord?
I Diana je morala nju da podsjeti da se on ipak molila za nju, da ona prati Isusa.
So she had to say, okay.
Dakle, morala je da pristane.
So now years later,
Dakle, prošlo su mnogo godina,
we're married
mi smo u braku,
and we're on an evangelistic tour like this one,
mi smo na turneji kao ova
and we're in Iceland.
i mi se nalazimo u Islandu.
Iceland is a very strange country, very strange.
To je veoma čudna zemlja,
very cold,
veoma hladna,
very far away from anything.
veoma daleko od ostalih
So
zemlji.
we're now on this trip,
Dakle, mi smo na ovom putovanju
and the message comes that Diana's mom has died.
i dobijamo vest o tome da je Dianina majka preminula.
So to honor her, she wanted to go back for the family, to go back for the funeral.
Dakle, ona se htjela vratiti porodici i da bude prisutna na sahrani.
She didn't stop following the Lord,
Ona nije prestala pratiti Hrista,
because in that moment, the way to follow the Lord was to go back and be a testimony to the family.
jer u tom trenutku rješenje jeste bilo da se ona vrati i da da svjedočanstvo porodici.
So following the Lord doesn't mean that you reject all family responsibilities.
Dakle, sledba Isusa ne znači da se moramo odreći svoje porodice,
It's that you understand that Jesus is first.
ali moramo razumeti da je Isus prvi.
Not too long ago,
Do pre nedavno
we were getting ready to go on a tour.
mi smo se spremali da krenemo na jednu turneju,
A lot of people were involved.
dok su ljudi bili uključeni.
Airplane tickets bought.
Kupili smo karte za avion,
I'm on my way to Belarus.
bili smo na putu do Belorusije
And my mother is dying.
i moja majka umire.
She'd been sick for a long time.
Ona je bila dugo vremena bolesna,
Then she had a stroke.
imala je moždani udar.
And I really, really wanted to be with her when she moved to heaven.
Ja sam zaista hteo biti sa njom kada je ona otišla za raj.
And she was in a place where they care for people that are dying.
I ona je bila na jednom mjestu gdje su se ljudi brinuli o njoj.
And they would say, she's got a day or two to live.
I oni su rekli da ima dan, dva života.
Came the day for me to leave.
Tada je došao dan za mene da odem.
She was still alive.
Ona je još i dalje bila živa.
And it was very difficult to know what to do.
I bilo mi je veoma teško znati šta da učinim.
Except that Jesus said, follow me.
Ali Isus je rekao, prati me.
And my mother wanted me to follow Jesus.
I moja majka isto to htjela, da pratim Isusa.
She wasn't awake.
Ona nije bila budna.
She didn't know I was there.
Nije ni znala da sam prisutan.
So I got on the plane.
Dakle, seo sam na avion.
Got on the plane.
Seo sam na taj avion.
And sometime when I was in that plane,
I dok sam bio na avionu,
at 30,000 feet,
na 10.000 metara,
my mother passed me.
moja majka je preminula.
And I know she smiled because she wanted me to follow Jesus.
I znam da se smeškala jer je žela da ja pratim Isusa.
It's not always easy to follow him
Nije uvek lako pratiti njega,
because we are selfish.
jer smo mi sebični.
We want things our way.
Mi želimo stvari na svoj način.
We want to try to control it.
Mi želimo upravljati.
But Jesus says,
Ali Isus govori,
I'm not Jean Baptiste.
ja nisam Džon Baptist.
You can trust me.
Ti se možeš pouzdati u mene.
So the final one is this.
Dakle, posljednja osoba je sljedeća.
Verse 61 and 62. Another also said, I will follow you, Lord, but first permit me to say goodbye to those at home. But Jesus said to him, No. After putting his hand to the plow and looking back, no one is fit for the kingdom of God.
Jedan mu reče, ja ću za tobom, Gospode, ali prvo pusti da se oprostim od svoje porodice. Ko položi ruku na plug, reče mu Isus, a osvrće se, nije za Božije carstvo.
So, when you're plowing,
Dakle, kada
you have to keep looking where you're going.
oreš, onda morate da pratite put.
Now, I don't know if any of you have ever plowed.
Ne znam da li ste to ikada radili.
So you're probably doing a tractor, right?
Dakle, to vi verovatno sa traktorom radite.
So how are you doing if you're driving your tractor but you're looking behind you?
Kako vam to ide ako ste okrenuti dok vozite traktor?
Does that work?
Da li to
Yeah,
funkcioniše?
you're
Da, idete
right?
naokolo.
So that's what Jesus is saying. It's just true.
Da o tome Isus govori da je to je tako istinito.
And he said, look, friend, if you follow me, you follow me.
I on kaže, vidi prijatelju, ako mene pratiš, onda mene pratiš.
You have to keep your eye on me and go where I'm going.
Drži svoj pogled na meni i prati me.
Many years ago, we used to travel. We had a truck and we had 3 cars and we would go in a caravan everywhere.
Pre mnogo godina dok smo mi putovali imali smo jedan kamionet, jedan auto i još ostala 3 auta kako su nas pratili.
And so usually I was the leader and I had to find the way.
I obično ja sam bio napred, ja sam bio vođa, ja sam trebao da nađem taj put.
And my responsibility was to watch the people behind me.
I moja odgovornost je bila da gledam ljude koji su iza mene.
Because if no one is following you, you're not a leader.
Jer ako te niko ne prati, vi niste vođa.
So we went to England.
Dakle, išli smo u Englesku.
And we got there late at night.
Stigli smo kasno.
And our 3 cars were there.
I naša 3 automobila su bila tamo.
And my good friend Jim Jenkins was in the truck.
I moj dobar prijatelj Jim je bio u kamionu.
In England, you know, they drive on the wrong side of the road.
Znate da u Engleskoj se na pogrešnoj strani vozi.
So that's a challenge.
Dakle, i to je bio izazov.
Plus you're in a country you've never been in before.
I plus to je još u nepoznatoj zemlji.
And it's night.
I veče je, tamno je.
So each person has the responsibility to follow who's in front.
Dakle, svaka osoba ima odgovornost da prati osobu ispred.
And to watch who's behind them.
I da posmatra ko je iza.
Jesus is always watching out for you.
Isus nas uvek posmatra.
Because he loves you.
Jer nas voli.
So we're driving.
Dakle, mi vozimo.
Jim is faithfully following.
Jim me prati.
And he watches as 3 cars get off the road, take an exit.
I on vidi kako 3 automobila silaze sa glavnog puta.
He follows the 3 cars off.
I on prati ta vozila.
And at the top of the road,
I na putu,
1 car goes to the right.
Jedan auto ode na
1
desnu
car
stranu,
goes to the left.
druga na levu,
And 1 car goes straight.
a jedna nastavlja pravo.
And Jim says,
I Jim pomisli,
that's not the people I'm supposed to be following.
to nisu ljudi koje ja moram da pratim.
So now Jim is lost.
Dakle, sada se Jim izgubio.
I don't know Jim's lost.
Ja to nisam znao da se on
Because
izgubio.
the car behind me is still there.
Jer je auto iza mene još uvijek bio tamo.
I don't remember who was in the last car.
Ja se ne sjećam ko je bio u posljednjem automobilu iza mene.
But they weren't watching for Jim.
Ali oni nisu pazili Jima.
So now Jim is lost.
Dakle, sada je Jim izgubljen.
And he starts to ask for directions.
I on počinje da traži adresu.
So he asks this Englishman, how do I get here?
Dakle, pita Engleza kako mogu da stignem na ovu adresu.
Well, I think you go about this way and you turn left and you go down about 4 miles and then you go to right. I think that's how you get there.
Dakle, idete na to mesto, skrenite levo pa desno.
So Jim follows the directions.
Dakle, Jim prati te upute.
He's more lost now.
I on se sad još više izgubio.
And so he asks somebody there.
I onda opet upita nekoga za.
And this lady says,
ta gospođa kaže,
don't worry, darling, you just go back this way about 12 miles and you go over a river. I think it's a river.
Dakle, nastavite par kilometara i pređite jednu reku.
So anyway, it's just terrible. Nobody knows how to get there.
Dakle, bilo je grozno, niko nije znao kako da stigne na to mesto.
You see, when you ask for directions, you have to ask somebody who knows.
Dakle, kada pitate za direkcije, morate pitati nekoga ko zna gdje se to nalazi.
Jesus knows.
Isus zna gdje je taj put.
He loves you.
On vas voli.
He says, follow me, you can trust me.
On kaže, pratite me, možete se pouzdati u mene.
He doesn't just know the way, he is the way.
On ne samo zna put, on i jeste put.
So Jim is a very smart man.
Dakle, Jim je veoma mudra osoba.
You know what he did?
Znate što je uradio?
He asked a taxi driver.
Pitao je taksistu za put.
And the taxi driver had a book.
A taksista ima jednu knjigu
with clear directions how to get
sa jasnim uputama.
Jesus Christ loves you.
Isus Hrist vas voli.
You can trust him. He knows everything.
Možete se pouzdati u njega. On sve zna.
He wants a relationship with you.
On želi jednu vezu sa vama.
He wants you to follow him all the time.
On želi da ga vi pratite svo vrijeme.
Nothing else should come first.
Ništa ne bi trebalo da bude pre njega.
And when you do, you will have a blessed life.
I kada to učinite, imat ćete jedan blagosloven život.
Thank you.
Hvala.